Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Back with more Hot Toys this time. Decided to share my latest addition to my Spider-Man collection. This is Spider-Man 2099 from Hot Toys. This is from Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse verse. I am here in the US. I believe this is currently like sold out where I would normally get it for, which would be Sideshow. I got mine from a retailer in Australia called Pop Culture. I ordered it online, so it did take a bit to get here. I'm here in the US, and I ended up paying about 398 Australian dollars, which translates to roughly 244 US dollars. So I thought for that price, this was a fair enough figure. And before I show you all the accessories, did want to show you the back of the box. This is a slip-on cover. I already took the cover off, but as you take that off, this is pretty much what's on the back, which is really nice. I show you the Spider-Man 2099 figure standing there. And in different action poses. Spider-Man 2099 gives you a bit of a, I guess, a blurb on Spider-Man 2099 and his background and the movie. So again, really cool packaging. Again, I don't have space to keep boxes, and unfortunately I think this is one that's going to get tossed out, but it is a really nice box. So everything you see is thrown out across my desk here. Obviously you do get your instructions, so I would probably say have a look at those. They kind of should give you some idea of how the accessories get attached, how the background gets put together, you know, the movement of the eyes, and you know, the movement of the figure, so you don't mess up your costume there. So you get that right off the bat. You do get this background accessory. The Miles Morales from Into the Spider-Verse that I have in my collection also came with a similar diorama. I don't use these. This is why it's still in the plastic, but you do get one. It's nice, hard cardboard, thick. So, and then you use all these different effects parts to sort of put the background together, which probably is nice for like photography, if that's your sort of thing. I don't use it on mine. What else we get here? We get your standard Hot Toys clamp, which you probably shouldn't use long term with this type of figure, so you don't ruin the costume, but you do get a little flexible there pipe thingy and a clamp, which then goes along with this nice base. Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, got the Spider-Man logo there, and you know, in blue in the background, Spider-Man 2099 font there on the front. So again, your standard Hot Toys base here. Let's get this other accessory here out of the way. You just get some extra wrist pegs in case you break the ones that he comes with. Another little accessory here. So Miguel here has movable eyes, so you can use these to sort of move the eyes around. So again, that's pretty cool there. And now getting into the actual accessories, you get one this little time traveling device that he wears on his wrist. Really nicely done. It's plastic. You kind of slide this onto his wrist, and there's a little detail there. You can also open this, so it does open. So again, that's a nice, neat little detail that they've included here. Just be really careful with not forcing this too much. It's all plastic and it's held by pressure, so just want to be really careful with it. But nice little piece you can put there on Spider-Man 2099. You get two attack effects, I'm going to call them. So these probably can be attached to the clawing hands that you get here to sort of give them like a swipe effect. So again, you get two of them, one in blue and another one in red clear plastic. These seem a bit not fragile, but they are like they are a bit flexible, so just be really careful. Don't want to end up breaking your accessories, so you do get a pair of those. Let's move on a little closer here and bring you into these accessories. So all these you see here, these are for the hands, essentially to hold the spiderweb effects, right? So if you look at the hands here, you have these sections on the upper palm that you can remove, and once you remove those, you can replace them with any of these, and that's so you can attach the web effects that I'll show you in a second. But you replace them and it has a little slot there for them. You get 6 of them in total, as you guys can see there. And while we're in the subject of hands, he does get 2 extra additional set of hands in addition to the ones that he comes with. You get the ones that are, I guess, his attack hands. These have the claws out, or the spines, talons, whatever you want to call them, long nails. They are out, really nice, and these are just the deal where you pull out the hands, so you do get that. You also get an additional pair of hands that are more kind of reaching out, no claws out or anything, standard hands, and they're really nicely done in this blue and red with these knuckle spikes things here. So again, that's really cool. You also get a bunch of different web effects, as I was mentioning. These kind of you can use in conjunction with the hands. You get this, it's like red with this yellow tip. They're all kind of like that. These are flexible plastic, but again, I'm afraid that if you're not careful with them, you may end up breaking them. I tend to store mine when I'm not using them, so it's just something where you're gonna have to be really careful with not snapping this bit of a brittle soft plastic. It's kind of weird, but it's nice. It's nice to see these different effects. I'm so used to seeing the regular standard white web-like effects that we get with all this Spider-Man figures, so it's nice that we get this different looking kind of effects. And then we're almost there at the end of all the accessories. We get this plastic I want to say cape, even though it's like his web, whatever you want to call it. It's nicely done. It almost reminds me of a candy Jolly Rancher. It's hard plastic, albeit a bit flexible. Again, you've got the red, you get the detailing of the web, and it goes from this really deep red and it gets clear, and then you get to the end, which is all clear there. Again, it's very shiny in the front and matte on the back. Looks like you've got some metal there for magnets. This kind of goes slides against the neck. I don't know how I'm gonna feel about this really sharp plastic resting against the fabric of the costume, but I'll let you know once I try that on. But this is something that you do get with him. And then of course, lastly, to me, the accessory that is really cool is this Miguel head. As I mentioned earlier, his eyes are movable, so you can make him look as goofy as you want. See his eye? I don't know if you saw his eye there moving. You can make him cross-eyed. You get the little tool there, the tool that you can use to move the eyes, but that's really cool. The skin complexion's nice and brown, really well done. I think they've done a good job of capturing the animation look there. The eyes are done, the brow, sort of the angry or stern expression on Miguel's face there. The head, the hair, really well done. I don't see like any, or if it's there, I can't really see it, like the split. Usually there's like a split in the plastic when they join the head together, but you can see there the innards, there's the eyes, and then the plastic to fit in to the head. And again, this is a really nice looking head. Face sculpt, really cool there. So I'm glad they gave us this option to display Miguel with his I guess unmasked portrait there. So here I want to go ahead and show you the face. Pardon the light in this room is a bit harsh, but went ahead and switched out the head here to show you the Miguel unmasked sculpt. Again, I think they've done an awesome job with getting the animation sculpt there, looking really cool. That side profile, again, they've hit it right on the mark. The hair looks really nice. The head fit in no problem, although I did have to mess with the eyes a bit because they kept sometimes moving. One of them actually popped out, but I was able to just pop it back in without issue. But again, love the skin complexion, love the expression. Again, the angry, the brow, the eyes are kind of there. The stern look for this face sculpt looks really cool. So I think they've done an awesome job there. And here you just want to go ahead and show you what is I'm gonna call it a cape, even though I know it's not necessarily a cape, but what that accessory kind of looks like. It does look nice. You do have to take out the head to slide it in from the top. I wouldn't try to slide it in from the back. You're probably going to ruin the suit that way. But other than that, it's kind of just there. It doesn't look bad, and I think it'll look great once I put in some dynamic poses with the cape. I just wish they would have found a better way of attaching it, maybe, or having slightly different material. I think if you leave this hard plastic on, I'm thinking perhaps in a very humid area, you may get some paint rub, or the plastic maybe attaching or you know, to the suit material here, and you don't want to ruin that awesome looking suit, but it doesn't look bad, and I guess it's nice to have this. The suit right off the bat looks awesome. Love the blue and the little accents on the body that you see there. The whole red spider chest details that cover the suit look on point. The red and blue just everywhere looks really nice. You've got these nice little plastic details that I'm not too crazy about. It's nice that they've included them. They're kind of like this pliable plastic. I'm just afraid that if this figure falls or if you hit these just right, they may pop off, but thankfully I haven't had that issue yet, and I've been playing around with it with him for a bit. Again, the details, the way they've sculpted the V shape on his upper torso, again animated based on the animation, but they've done such an awesome job again with the suit, the red, the blue, and then the sculpting on the overall body. The head looks on point. I showed you guys the head, the Miguel, the unmasked head. Again, I thought that head looks pretty cool, but they've done an awesome job here with the suit. Bring you in a little closer so you could see here some of the details. Love the little lighter blue details all over the suit, kind of give you that tech kind of look on this guy. You've got red detailing here on the suit. Here on the bottom of the shoes you got red, but you got some text that says Marvel or what have you. But here's the back, and again, awesome job I think by Hot Toys. Here are the little plastic pieces that I told you about that I'm kind of just a bit worried that if you hit them just right they may break. So again, something to keep in mind here. A little red detailing here. Definitely love the huge spider chest thing they got going on. The face itself looks really nice there with the blue and red and the eyes. You know, again, pretty cool. And as I said, the sculpting on the body looks awesome there. So you know, you got the chest, you got definition with the abs, the six-pack, biceps, triceps, huge shoulders. You know, forearms look really nice. The legs, again, he is very well sculpted. You guys can see it there. And again, I have to go back to the suit. I believe this is one of those deals where if you have a black light or a UV light or what have you, it can shine. I unfortunately don't have that, but it's something that you can do with your figure. And again, here's the back. You've got some material here to sort of give him that wide back and wide shoulders. As far as the articulation on this guy, the head here, you can pop it off. It's not on a magnet or anything, but you can turn the head fully around if you want. Then you can sort of turn it left and right. There's also articulation on the neck, so if you wanted to, you can move the neck left, the neck itself left and right. You can also make him look up with the head, but then you can also use the neck to make it look up that much and look down quite a bit. Actually, you can look down that much. You get some suit bunching up here, so I think that's inevitable with Hot Toys there. The shoulders here you can move up probably about straight ahead, and again, you're gonna get suit bunching up here. So you know, especially this material, you don't want to leave it in that kind of pose for a long time, but that's something that you could do. You've got your elbows here. You could do well above 90. Again, you're gonna get more suit bunching up, but that's just a reality of Hot Toys. The arm here, or sorry, the hand, you can pop these out and switch for one of the other hands. These are the fists, but you can, they're on ball joints, so you can turn them fully around, and they also have extra articulation here to move left and right. But let me pop the hand out. So here you could see the actual joint, and I'm trying to, okay, all right, so the joints on mine are pretty stiff, so again, just something to keep in mind. You can move these up and down, but just be really careful. I guess it's a good thing they gave you extra ones here. The arms here, again, you can twist them at the bicep, so you can have that, but again, you are bending the suit at that point, so just something you don't want to stretch that too much. Here, if we go to the torso, can move probably this way, left and right, about that much. He can look down probably about that much. and he can look back with the torso. Looks like there's a joint here, but you could see that he can look back there. As far as the legs, probably about that much. You see how it's causing the suit to sort of extend there, so just something to be wary and cautious of, because you don't want to end up breaking this. And let's see here, you can kick forward probably about that much before you start risking anything. Kick back, let's see, doesn't look like you can go back any further than that actually. So I'm not going to force my figure, but you can kick forward, you can bend your knees way above 90, but again, you're stressing the suit at that point, so just something to keep in mind. This guy can hit some nice poses, but again, don't want to risk that suit too much. And then going down here, you've got your ankles, so you can move up and down. It looks like you can turn these around, but you're kind of messing with the suit. And you've got toe articulation, so again, really cool. I think you'll be able to put this guy in some nice poses, but of course keeping in mind that you know, you don't want to stretch out the material too much. It looks like this would be like if you kept this for maybe about a week, and then you put him back into a bit of a natural pose, or a museum pose as they call it, that the suit would go back to its natural state. Again, you know, these are figures, pose them like you wanted to, but just because of the pricing, sometimes, you know, it gets a little hard to justify, you know, ripping the suit or stretching it. But I gotta say, it does look really nice. I was one of the ones that initially, when they showed the figure with the exposed joints, I actually liked that figure quite a bit. And I get why a lot of folks didn't, right? Hot Toys is known for the suits and the materials, etc. But I was actually a pretty big fan of the exposed joint, because I thought, you know, you can put them in great poses. You don't have to worry about suit material wrinkling or perhaps ripping or not being able to pose your figures. But of course, you're giving up to nice materials. In hindsight, I think now, having this figure in hand, I think they did go the right way. I think this is sort of what you expect when you buy a Hot Toys figure. You expect a nice material suit, you know, you expect the nice little details, and again, you have to be careful when you post these things. The material does bunch up, it will stretch, but I think they've done such a good job with the sculpting and the material and the details on the suit that it does look really, really nice. Alright guys, just some poses here, showing off the posability of this figure. Put on the cape there, the little plastic Jolly Rancher cape. There are some magnets there to help it kind of stay in place. I'm a bit iffy on this cape, I'm not crazy about it. Switched out the hands. Again, no issues there with switching out the hands. That's your standard ball joint like you get on all the other Hot Toys figures. As you guys can see, you can pose this guy. You will run into issues like here where you're bunching up the suit, so it's a really nice suit. You certainly don't want to risk damaging anything, so I wouldn't recommend that you leave this guy in this kind of pose for a long time. He does look pretty awesome there. Of course, warning with the clamps as well. This is probably one of those clamps that if you leave there that long term, it will more than likely end up damaging the suit. But for things like this, making videos, you know, maybe taking pictures here of your Hot Toys and poses and everything, I think he looks pretty darn awesome. Or, you know, if you don't really mind, you can leave this guy in this pose. Maybe the suit will heal, but as you guys can see, it does bunch up here. You are stretching out the suit like around the shoulders and elbows. Definitely a lot of bunching up there on the waist, and you're actually stretching the suit quite a bit here on this knee there that's bent in. But again, he does look pretty awesome there. And here's one more pose, a bit tricky here because I am not using the stand at all. I did get rid of the cape. Again, I'm not too crazy about it. Kept the same style hands. I guess a bit of a prowling pose. Hopefully he doesn't fall as I rotate this, but he does look pretty cool here, kind of stalking or running after Miles and other members of the Spider Society. Again, kept the same hands, but man, he does look really awesome. Again, you're taking a risk by sort of leaving the figure here, perhaps for a long term in this kind of position, but man, does he look awesome. I think you can get this guy some really nice poses, but just keep in mind that you need to be careful when stretching the suit and bending the limbs there. Just be really careful. Again, I'm not using the stand, so I'm trying to be careful so he doesn't topple, but especially this side profile here, I certainly love the way he looks there, looking really cool, but really nice nonetheless. And here's one more pose, a bit of a crouching action going on there. Got one hand kind of stretched out. Got rid of the webbing part from the last pose, put in the time traveling device on his wrist, and of course, as you guys could see there, switched out the head, make it seem like he's kneeling while looking down at the time traveling device. Again, pretty cool pose in my book. You know, again, you're stretching out the suit quite a bit here too, but again, he looks pretty awesome again. So looking pretty nice there. Definitely loving that Miguel, that unmasked portrait there. I think it looks really nice. And here's one more pose. Again, apologies, my posing is not the greatest, but switched out to the fist and switched out the little hand parts that you use to put on the web. By the way, these are also on the back. You probably can't see it, but you get 6 of these, as I mentioned earlier, the little parts to attach to the fists, so then you could do something like this. They're lettered, they're keyed in the back. Essentially, they have letters that say L or R, so you know which arm they go with. So again, that's showing off here the little spider web effect. You know, a bit of, I guess, a jumping pose there, again using the clamp. And then again, as I mentioned before, the suit is pretty stretched out and bunched up in certain places, particularly around the knees. So just something to be aware of there. Just trying to move this guy here. But again, he does look pretty cool. He does sort of have some really nice poses there. Just gotta play around with it quite a bit here. As you can see that. So here you go. Moving on here with the size comparison. So we have Miguel here, Spider-Man 2099, and we'll put him up here next to the classic suit Spider-Man. This is from the Insomniac PlayStation 1 video game. So you guys can see what those two look like together. And why not, let's throw up Miles. This is the first one, the first version of Miles there. You can see them standing pretty cool looking there. We'll move Miles out of here and bring in, here's another spider person. This is the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man. This was released as part of the, I think that last Spider-Man movie that I can't remember the name of right now. No Way Home, was it? Yep, I think it was No Way Home. And then of course here is the Spider-Man Maguire version of this guy of Spider-Man here. So you've got all 3 of the spider people there standing together, looking pretty cool. We can then actually move him out of the way, and then we'll go ahead and bring in Tom Holland Spider-Man. This is the integrated suit version from No Way Home. Here's one more comparison to that huge Venom. This is from the PlayStation 2 Insomniac Spider-Man 2 video game. Pretty huge figure there, but you guys can see there the size difference between Spider-Man 2099 and Venom there. And while we're in the subject of big figures, here we have Thanos from Endgame in comparison to Spider-Man 2099 there. As we keep going here with the size comparisons, here's another one with the She-Hulk from the She-Hulk show. She's still a little taller there. And here is the Mark 85 Iron Man non-battle damaged one. He's not standing up and down. I'd figure he'd still be just a touch shorter than Miguel here, but you guys could see there the comparison with those 2 figures. Here we'll have him next to the Endgame Thor and the Kang the Conqueror Hot Toys figure from the Ant-Man Quantumania. series. Miguel's still a tad taller than both of them, but there you go, that's what that looks like together. And then two more comparisons. Here is the Black Panther. I believe this is the 2.0 version, and the WandaVision from that TV show. Looking pretty cool there. So yeah, that's pretty much all the size comparisons. Alright guys, so here's one more pose, a bit of a kicking action. Went ahead and put in those slashing effects, the red and blue ones that come with the figure. So pretty dynamic pose, I must say. Again, the suit does hold up to the stretching, but as you guys could see, I probably wouldn't leave this guy in this kind of pose for a long time. You see the joints from the knee kind of digging into the suit. There's creases around the waist, and again, you know, the arms being kind of bent in on the elbows and stretched out in the shoulders, but he does look pretty cool. Again, I think they've done a pretty good job of making the suit here work really well, and I think the posability is there. But again, like every other Hot Toy figure, I think you're just gonna have to be careful, or just make peace with the fact that you're gonna have creases and or damage to the figure. But you know, they're toys, play with them. But this guy does look pretty cool. I think he looks pretty awesome. Overall, I am very happy with this figure. Again, I don't know if I mentioned earlier in the video, I was initially in that camp that this figure should have been with the exposed joints, plastic, but I get it now. I think the suit came out way better than expected, and I think he looks really awesome. Again, I think figure's great for anyone that wants to add it to the Spider-Man, any Spider-Man collection, right? $20.99, or the movie, or the cartoon movie, what have you. I think this is a pretty awesome looking figure. So anyway, I think that's gonna do it for me, guys. Again, pretty happy with Miguel Spider-Man 2099 here. Looking pretty cool. Definitely a worthy addition to my collection. If you made it to the end of the video, again, thank you so much for your very valuable time. I will catch you in the next one. Take care.